Hey guys, how you doing? Well, today was quite interesting, and as you know, the last video I put out had to do with President Trump's latest tweet, um, and actually I heard his comments in the Rose Garden as well as the tweet itself, and basically in the tweet he said, why don't you go home to your home country and fix the problems you're talking about, and then come back here and tell me how to solve this problem. Now, that was the tweet. And it did not look like he was addressing all four of them. And when they had their press conference, it was just and I watched it, and it was during the 5, and they took notes while they were listening to the comments, and they had pretty good responses. One of which was, one of them said, the occupant of the White House, which is very disrespectful. They once again voiced the same erroneous claim of kids in cages, which has been debunked over and over and over again every time they mention it. They're going by the old talking points. This, by the way, is orange juice. Of kids in cages and separation of families. It's the old narrative just being repeated over and over and over again like a broken record, even after they've been debunked. And about the raids, and I think, and President Trump said, I wasn't telling her to, leave and not come back. I told her to leave and find out how to see if they could fix the problems in their country, and then come back and tell us how to do it. But they once again equated Trump to Hitler, and the border control as concentration camp guards. Okay. And then something kind of struck me as odd. And for this, I would need to refer to the play 12 Angry Men. And I'm focusing on a little portion of that play, if you're familiar with that play. And Juror 8, as soon as he hears one argument and another argument, one argument that proves the kid killed his father was the old man who lived below the apartment, heard the kid yell, "I'm going to kill you." A second later, heard the body hit the floor. And then in another testimony, an old lady across the way of the L tracks, and her window was opposite the kid's window, and he turned, and as there was an L train going through, she said she could see the killing to the last 2 cars. And so Juror 8 said, wait a minute, let's take these 2 testimonies and try to put them together, because they're offered separately. And he says, okay, 1, the old man swore he heard the kid yell, I'm going to kill you, and then heard a body hit the floor a split second later. And the old lady across the track said she saw the kid killing his father through the last two windows of the last two trains of the car. Since the lady saw the killing through the last two cars, that means that the old man had to have heard the kid yell while the L was rolling by. And there is question as to whether the old man could have heard it over the train noise. So he was putting two testimonies and putting it together. Now, I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. Two narratives. Okay. One's a narrative and the other kind of actually happened. Okay. One narrative is that Trump... Oh, hold on. Okay, swing that around. Okay. Narrative 1. Trump is Hitler. Narrative 2, or 1.2, I guess. The detention center at the border is a concentration camp. Okay. Now, let's take the other testimony. The one where the squad, members of the squad, or maybe member, not really sure, I think it's just only one. I think that was really all that Trump was going after, was that one member of the squad. Okay, from what I understand, I don't think he was going after all four of them. I think he was singling out just one member of that squad. So while only one member of the squad originally came from another country, I think that's who Trump was referring to. I don't think he was referring to all four. I think he was referring to the one member of the squad who did come from another country and who expressed anti-American complaints, disrespecting the flag, disrespecting the office of president, hating our country, supporting Al-Qaeda, so on and so forth. Okay, so I think, and I may be wrong, but I think from what I gather from his comments and from looking at the tweet itself, that Trump was talking about only one member of the squad, not all four. But still, all you gotta say is leave. And matter of fact, he should really say that to everybody who does hate our country, who does disrespect the flag, who does, disrespect, to everybody who does. Okay? Okay. I'll fix it later, okay? Alright. Now, what did Trump say in that tweet? He said, if you hate this country, and if you hate being here, and you're unhappy, then leave. Now, and it dawned on me, okay, President Trump was telling them, if you're against the country, if you're against our flag, if you're against being here, then leave. Now, Trump, according to this narrative, is Hitler. And the detention center, the migrant detention centers, is a concentration camp. But I will stay focused on the claim that Trump is Hitler, okay? Now, the left is so convinced, as my friend attested, that Trump is Hitler, okay? Let's stay with that for a second. Okay. Now, let's go back to Nazi Germany. Okay. Now, Hitler did not order only the Jews. Okay. And the 6 million Jews who perished at the hands of the Nazis were not alone. Because Hitler also murdered gypsies, communists, homosexuals, and this is what's important, and political opponents. Now, what would you think a political opponent is? Okay, you might say, okay, political opponent is the Democratic side. Okay, that's pretty much fair enough. Now, one little bitty question, okay? And this has actually happened, okay? Operation Valkyrie, I think it was, that a Nazi member of the party was against Hitler, was against his policies, who disagreed with some of his orders, and wanted to take him out. Okay. But there were also others who disagreed. Now, so a political opponent does not necessarily mean Democrats versus Republicans, because Nazi Germany didn't have that kind of, separate, So a political opponent would be somebody like a member of that squad who hates this country, hates, disrespects and hates the flag, hates the president, hates being here. And if a Nazi felt the same way about Germany and was against Hitler and was against the Nazi Party and was against the policies of the Nazi Party, what would Hitler have done? Do you think that Hitler would have said, okay, you don't like me, you don't like our party, you don't like the way I'm running things, you don't like being here, okay, well, you can leave? Do you think Hitler would have said that? No. No. Hitler would have had him executed. That's what Hitler does, or did, I should say, right, with his political opponents. Those who disagreed with him, those who disagreed with his policies, those who hated everything about, the Reich and everything else. Okay? Hitler would have had him executed, or her. Now, Trump is Hitler, right? Right? That's what we're hearing. Trump is Hitler. If Trump is Hitler, and the detention center is a concentration camp where people are slaughtered, why would President Trump say, as controversial a tweet as it is, as racist as it may sound, why would Trump tell her or advise them to leave the country? And not only leave the country, but even to come back. If Trump is Hitler, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Wouldn't Trump have sent them down to the border facility and had them murdered. Makes sense, right? And this is what I say about putting two testimonies or two narratives and put them together. Two separate narratives and try to put them together. And you could see they don't jive. They do not jive. Okay. My friend is so scared of being murdered at the border. Now, they were talking about kids who died. And I remember when that happened. There was a father and a daughter, and that image of them in the water. They were the two kids who died. Now, mainstream media is accusing the staff to have killed them. But they were suffering illnesses from the trip. They arrived at the facility already suffering some form of illness. And yes, they did die in our custody, but it was nothing the Border Patrol did. They were trying with everything they could to try to save them. As far as the father and daughter are concerned, they died before they even entered this country. They perished in the water, not even having stepped foot on American soil, not even having reached any of our patrol agents. They perished because of the trip. And the two kids who died, as tragic as it is, also died due to health complications from the trip to Mexico. But the squad was easy to throw that in. And so mainstream media is doing everything it can to make things worse. And it's really unfair. But the whole narrative is falling apart now. Based on my thinking now, I don't know if anybody else have noticed it either. Maybe I'm the only one who noticed this. And Hitler would have had the squad executed. If Trump was Hitler, that's what he would have done. Because that's what Hitler would have done. What would Hitler have done? What would Hitler do in that circumstance? Hitler wouldn't tell them to leave the country. He would have had them executed. So, by the very fact that that Trump, see, that was a big paw there. See, the mainstream media is doing to me? Okay. Because Trump said, if you don't like it here, leave. You shouldn't stay if you're unhappy here. If you hate it here, leave. I said this on another video. I didn't like New York. I hated New York. So I left and moved somewhere where I was happy. And that's basically what President Trump was trying to say. If you don't like it here, then leave. Go to another country. You hate it here, go leave. Now, he went a little too far in saying go back to your country, even though he said come back and tell me how to fix the problem. But he should have said just leave, and he should have ended it right there. But it was their response to that tweet, and I watched this after I offered my reaction, right? So I'm thinking to myself, they are so labeling President Trump as a racist, as a Nazi, as Hitler, etc., etc., etc. And then I heard President Trump's comments in the Rose Garden. You know, that she supports Al-Qaeda, that she hates it here, blah, blah, blah. She should leave. So then we have the real, the real story. It wasn't the four of them. I don't think it was ever the four of them. I think it was just that one. The one who was very vocal in what she said about some people did something, in referring to 9/11, and the anti-Semitic remarks that she made, which nobody talked about, that nobody seemed concerned about, okay, and how much she hates it here. So even President Trump was making that case. But in the Rose Garden, the comment, he basically clarified it by referring to her and her alone, the one member of that squad who was not born here. And it was she who President Trump was referring to in the tweet about going back to your own country and fix your problem and then come back and tell me how to do it. So, even though he really should have stopped at, if you don't like it here, leave. But I think he was really offended. And I think that's where he was going. That he was really offended by her attitude and what she said and her entire everything. That she's like, just leave. Just leave. I don't think you'll be missed. Just get the heck out of our country. You're not happy here. You hate it here. You hate me. You hate this country. You hate our flag. You hate our values. You support Al-Qaeda. Why are you here? Just leave. So I think that really is what the whole point was. But to those who still equate Trump with Hitler, I think the fact that he said to her, leave the country, and not plan to send her down to the migrant detention center and have her executed, which is what Hitler would have done. Hitler would not have said, okay, just leave. Hitler wouldn't have said that. Right? Hitler wouldn't have said, leave the Reich if you feel that way. Leave the Reich. If you're going to be my enemy, then don't be here. Be somewhere else. So you could be our enemy and then I can destroy you there. Or I'll just have you killed right here before you leave. Because who knows what secrets you're going to take with you. That was really in Hitler's mind. Which is why his policy of fight or die where you stand was implemented. And kill yourself to prevent being captured. You see, the whole narrative of Trump being Hitler is so far-fetched. Knowing what I know from what I learned about Hitler and about anybody, generals or whoever, or even the children's squad, if there's a defector in the bunch, if there's a traitor in the bunch, that traitor will be rounded up and killed. that traitor would not have been ordered to leave the country. Go, leave. Which is what President Trump is saying. If you don't like it here, leave. But Hitler would not have said that. Hitler would not have allowed that. Hitler, knowing what I know about Hitler in World War II, about the Nazis, about their fight or die where you stand order, about killing yourself before you're captured, and then try to get secrets out of you. That was Hitler. That was Hitler. That isn't Trump. That isn't President Trump. Trump says if you're not happy here, if you hate it here, if you hate a flag, hate everything, go, leave. Hitler would have rounded them up and had them executed, which is what they're saying is happening down the border, and what my friend is afraid is going to happen to him if he stays, and is afraid that's what's going to happen to me if I stay. That I'll be rounded up and executed at the border, because they have pushed the narrative that Trump is Hitler so much and so hard that so many people are convinced of this. But if you present an argument to, if Trump is Hitler, why did he tell her to leave? Why don't he just do what Hitler did, which was kill him, have him executed for being a traitor to the party, being a traitor to the country? Now, some people are saying that those who are supporting, they're not supporting our people, they're supporting illegal aliens, are traitors. And to a point, they're right. To a point, they're right. They are traitors. But you will notice that Trump has issued or ordered nothing to happen to them. As a matter of fact, Nancy Pelosi is the biggest traitor of them all. And guess what? When Nancy was accused by AOC of being a racist, Trump defended her. Would Hitler have defended a traitor? No, right? Hitler would not have defended and supported a traitor. He would have had the traitor executed. And not only did Trump not do that with Nancy Pelosi, who is so much, a traitor based on, her fighting against securing the border and caring more for the aliens than us. President Trump did not have her executed. President Trump did not have anything happen to her. And he even defended her, saying Nancy is not racist. So you stop that. You cut that out, because that's not what she is. She may be crazy, but she's not a racist. So he stood up for her. He stood up for her. Hitler would not have done that. Hitler would have had the traitor executed. So, and Hitler would not have told a member of the Reich to leave the Reich if they're not happy. He would have had that person executed. So, think about that next time. Think about that the next time you hear this old, worn-out narrative that Trump is Hitler. and what's going on down the borders of concentration camp. Comparing Trump to Hitler, it doesn't jive. It does not jive. It doesn't make sense. It is so vastly different. Trump is very different from Hitler. Very much different. And the fact that he suggested they leave the country instead of executing them, which is what Hitler would have done, pretty much proves that the old narrative, the old worn-out narrative, is false. It is erroneous. It is a lie. It is not true. The facts speak for themselves. The fact that he told her to leave instead of having her executed. Right? Because that's what it would have done. So, like I said, the next time you think about, or the next time you hear that Trump is being compared to Hitler, remember what I've said. Because it's mathematics is also part of it too. The associative property. Let's consider the associative property of math between addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, right? 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. But 2 minus 3 is different than 3 minus 2. And 2 divided by 3 is different than 3 divided by 2. So, you know, it's mathematically is not equal. It's not equal. The associative property in subtraction and division is very similar to the comparison of President Trump to Hitler, based on his tweet and based on what he said in the Rose Garden. To leave. Leave. You will not even be missed, he said. Would Hitler have said that? Think about it. Would Hitler have said, leave the Reich, you won't be missed? Would Hitler have said that? No. Hitler would have had that person executed. So, that's what I want to talk about. That's what I wanted to say, because I noticed that. It just dawned on me today. You know. So anyway, hope I gave you some food for thought, and maybe we can put this very old, worn-out narrative out to pasture, and just pop a hole in it, just let the air out, just let it just shrink up into a piece of blob, and have no more vitality and life, because Trump just debunked the liberals' narrative about him and the detention center by the tweet and his comments in the Rose Garden. Leave. I'm not going to have you rounded up and executed like Hitler would have done. I'm saying leave. You can go back if you want to, but if you're not happy, leave. If you don't want to leave, fine, but you're the one that's going to be miserable. You're the one that's going to suffer because you hate it here so much. So, to equate Hitler to President Trump, Hitler wouldn't have said all of that. No. Think about it. Hitler wouldn't have said that. But anyway, that's it. That's really all I wanted to say. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I will see you soon. Take care.